Hello and welcome to Eriu Tarot Readings. I'm Eriu and I'm here to give you your October tarot reading. So as always, if your sun sign video doesn't give you a lot of clarity, don't worry about it. Check out your moon and rising sign videos. I do it all the time as well, watching other tarot readers, and it really does help me at times. So do that. And also to let you know about this particular reading, this is called the What Am I Doing With My Life reading. Pretty self-explanatory, folks. Let's try and get a bit of guidance. Let's try and figure it out, at least for the month of October. And if you'd like a reading with me, you can certainly have one. My details are below. Just get in contact. Now that that's out of the way, let's see how your month is gonna go. Hi Saggy, and welcome to your October tarot reading, lovingly known as What Am I Doing With My Life? I think this is a question that a lot of people are struggling with at the moment. That's why I thought I'd do this. So let's see what will come up for you. So very first card, it's dead center. It's actually just covered by the second card, which is horizontal over it. But the very first card, which I love for you, in the position 1, that is you now. And you, Saggy, are the Ace of Wands. Let me point something out to you that does never happen. Never say never. Very seldom have I ever seen two aces together like this. And I'm so happy you have this, Saggy. That procrastination, that stagnation that you have been feeling has and will lift. Delighted to tell you that first and foremost. Ace of Wands here, this is you now. New chapter, new beginnings, my darling. It's finally coming about. I know you've been waiting for a long time. You've been wondering where it is. You were getting bored. You were getting restless. You know, you were waiting to run around half horse, half man, and you couldn't. You felt like a caged animal. Well, this is saying you have a new beginning in that. So a new beginning in love, a new beginning in passion, in spirituality, and more importantly, creativity. For some of you, your creativity may be linked to your spirituality, and vice versa. So this is saying that power boost that you needed, that you wanted, that energy that needed to come through for you, that was just a little bit more exciting and spontaneous, that's coming through for you now, and you feel like that in October. It's also a card of re-energizing your sexuality, how you approach sexual experiences, and how you, if you're single, how you approach them individually or with somebody you're seeing, or how you approach them with your partner if you're seeing someone. So I'm really glad to see this as well. This is this card is covered, but it is quite a phallic symbol. And so you will be partaking in some wonderful fornication with whoever you may wish to. And it seems like when we have the wands here, which is Leo, Sagittarius and Aries energy anyway, which is all that fire, it's nice to see this sunburst energy just popping up in all areas of your life. I don't feel like this is particular to one area. I feel like it's everywhere. I feel like it has a knock-on effect. So happy to see that for you, Sag. So happy. Now the card that goes over this is a second position for you, and this is what you are afraid of. Ace of Pentacles. So again, we have a new chapter coming about. Again, we have a new beginning. But what is the fear that's attached to this? So Pentacle energy, Virgo, Taurus and Capricorn. What we see is the material world finally manifesting before your eyes. It took a lot of groundwork, and it still continues to take a lot of groundwork in order for those things to appear before you, because it is all about the work. The fear that I see attached with this for you is that you may be afraid of what these opportunities represent. So it feels like for some of you, it may be a case that it may be a new job or an elevation in a job or a promotion, and you go, Jesus, can I really do that? It may require you to travel a bit further out. It may require you to get up earlier. It might be night shifts. It may ask you to move. It has these requirements about it, and I think that's the fear that you have, that stagnated energy that you felt prior to October. Now that it's been alleviated, you want to enjoy that and you want to experience it, and you don't necessarily want to put the rules in place just yet. There is a very strong energy of routine that comes with the earth signs that govern this particular Ace of Pentacles, but there's always so many benefits that come with it. And again, when we talk about Pentacles, we're not just talking about material goods that I've been saying. We're talking about our finances. Our finances get better with these opportunities. So I see that really for you, Saggy, it might be a fear of expansion, which you're not actually afraid of, but what comes with that expansion? What is required of you in order to gain all of this? But when we talk about the Ace of Pentacles, we're talking about a high level of achievement here. So I would say to you, put that fear aside because you just don't need it. Now the third card that I have for you, so it's to the far left there. It's just underneath the white flower on the left. Third position here, what we're looking at is your past influence that's actually been beneficial to you. Three of Swords. Now, if I'm right in thinking, this came up a few times so far, Sag, and as far as I can remember, Gemini had this. So Three of Swords here. What could be beneficial about having heartache? What could be beneficial about being wounded emotionally? What could be beneficial about getting your heart, I don't want to say broken, because it's not broken, but getting your heart punctured in love, essentially. With this particular deck, what we have is a tree behind it. Sometimes it's a tree of life. Life has dealt us those hard cards. We've had to deal with them as best we could, but it's had its toll on us. Other times this tree can represent the family tree, the roots of the family. So what we have here is our family. It's been harder to sometimes in some ways to love the family in which we have. Generational things can be an issue. Dynamics within a family can be harder as we get older, but it is saying that with Swords energy being Libra, Aquarius and Gemini, that this is very much at the forefront of your mind. And when we put trauma to the forefront of our mind, we give it energy and it grows and it breathes again, and that's not necessarily what we want to do. Fully enough, this isn't your beneficial card for your past influence. So this is saying that you have felt trauma, you have felt hurt in love, be it with romantic or platonic. You have felt that there's been times where you've been hard done by, Saggy, emotionally, but the knowledge that you have acquired from these things has actually really helped you. It's like leveled you up in many ways. These are the scars that we all hold, and they do heal, but we're still left with them. But they're reminders of what we've been through and how far we've come. So that's what I see you actually owning, and that being beneficial to you is being like, I've been there, I've felt it, I've done it, but I've come out the other side as well. And what I would say to you with this card again is to not give it too much energy. You can sit with it when it pops up, because sometimes it does. You can sit with those memories and they can pop up and you can deal with them as they come, but don't let them overpower you, because that's not why they're there. They're there for those little reminders to show you your growth emotionally. Now for your fourth placement, this is the past influence that's been negative for you. This is the very bottom card of the spread here, and we have the Prince of Cups. So with the Prince of Cups, again, we'll talk about emotions and how important that is. We talk about Scorpio, Cancer and Pisces energy. That can be very healing during trauma, but also be very turbulent when opposed at times, or when it feels like it's being attacked. When we see the Prince of Cups here, we see someone who's offering their love to someone and saying, I want to give you this, I want to give you a piece of me, I want to give you a piece of my heart, essentially. So for some of you Saggies, this is a love reading, no doubt. For some of you, not all of you obviously, but how has this been a negative past influence on you? For some of you, you've worn your heart on your sleeve, and for some of you, there have been people out there that have taken advantage of that love, of a very pure, open and honest way of communicating through feelings. And people have taken that from you and either not given it back to you in the same amount or way, or have just abused the privilege of being given that emotion. So you can be open and you can be quite free, and you can at times wear your heart on your sleeve, but it's really who you give that to that has taught you to be a bit more select. And I think that's really important, Sag, when you are someone that feels the way you do, that feels that intensity the way you do, that is very fun loving. We want to feel like everyone has the best of intentions, and that's unfortunately not always the case. For you to know when to give and when to hold that back, or just who to give it to, that has been an influence for you, that even though this is coming up in your negative space, is saying like you've learned the lesson from it. So at the very top of this spread, you'll see her, she's all by herself in between the two fuchsia flowers there. This is the 5th position, and this is what you promise to yourself. So what do you promise to yourself? Well, we have the Queen of Swords here. Libra energy. Hello. This is me. This is and for also all the Libra cross watchers. I just called you out. I'm so sorry about this. But the Queen of Swords energy is here. She's stern, but in a fair way. Obviously, she believes in equality and equilibrium in all forms, but she doesn't suffer fools lightly. She may or may not let you know this. Even though she is a verbal sign, she will communicate, and she might communicate her dislike, but she may not outwardly say to you, I don't like you, or I won't do this, or I will do this. That is more of that fire energy that we have, that lovely, I want to use the word aggression, but I think I'd prefer to use the word assertiveness. There is a detached element to her. So what you're going to promise to yourself, Sagittarius, is that when the time comes for you to be more discerning, you're going to do that. When we put this actually together with the Prince of Cups, it really makes a lot of sense for you because you've grown in that respect. Also, it's about you being able to tell people what you will and will not put up with, and not with such a strength that they don't hear you, but that's articulated in such a way that they can't help but hear you. Now, if they choose to ignore it, that's on them, what happens after that. But with the Queen of Swords energy, as I said, she doesn't suffer fools lightly, and she really won't. She has her sword. She uses it as a warning. So you will promise to yourself, what you will do is give people ample warning of your boundaries. Again, this could be love or family, it doesn't really matter, but those essential boundaries that allow us to maintain openness, but also maintain a level of how we expect to be treated by someone. She is up in the clouds, is this Queen of Swords. So there is a point where she will detach herself from people, from humanity, from things, because at times having that wealth of knowledge that she does, it can be very tiresome and even troublesome for her to always have to teach a person how to be or how to do, and that actually is what the Queen of Swords does. She's constantly mediating people. She gets tired of it sometimes. She'll go back up in the clouds in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and then she'll come back down. But you must promise yourself, Saggy, that when the time comes for you to vocalize your, I don't want to say distaste, but maybe to vocalize the lines of your boundaries, to do that willingly. And also because you got to protect that heart of yours, right? To a certain degree, the one that you wear in your sleeve. Yeah, I think so. Saggy love is a very unique love. So the final card that I have for you, Sag, is the 6th card there to the far right hand side underneath the right hand white flower. This 6th position is the result. So what will the result be? In this position, we have the Queen of Pentacles for you. So 2 queens, 2 aces. Really, it's coming up Millhouse for you. Queen of Pentacles here again, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. We've come out of the Queen of Swords energy, which is very much in the clouds and thinking about what we're going to do. And then when we combine it with the Queen of Pentacles, we realize how we can actually do it, and then do it itself and see the benefits of that. The Queen of Pentacles sits quite calmly on her throne, and she's quite happy to be where she is. In her hand in this deck, what you'll see is what's known as a bodhrán. It's a traditional Irish instrument, and it was used when soldiers were on ships, and they would use the bodhrán as a rhythm to keep the men rowing the oars. It's very tribal, and it's actually kind of warlike. But when I see this particular symbol for you, excuse me, in this placement, what I see is someone who is very happy to dance to the beat of their own drum. It's extremely earthy, and what it really wants you to do is to get back to nature and to use the energy that you have and the opportunities that you have coming to really utilize these to get the best out of them and allow the material world to reflect that back to you. Because I really think, Sag, it's about time that you were rewarded accordingly for how you do and what you do. You are a mutable sign, which means you're very interchangeable. You can roll with it or you can go by yourself. It's not a problem for you. But there still needs to be a certain amount of acknowledgement from your peers or the people around you, or the people that you love and they say love you, they need to reflect that back to you. But I also see you just sitting very comfortably here in yourself. So the end result seems quite lonely, but it's actually not. God, I just love the Queen of Pentacles card. I just love it from this deck. And I feel the happiness and joy that she gets from that. And it's not, you haven't burnt the candle out at both ends like you normally would, Sag. You've taken that quite well. Actually, you will take that quite well in October. It's really time for you to enjoy everything that you've cultivated up to this point. And the result may not be as exciting as the beginning of the new chapter, but I'm really happy to see you come to a point where you can say, I've done it, I did it, and I'm so freaking happy. Okay, Sag, this has been your reading for October 2020. If you dig what I do, please like and subscribe, but more importantly, leave a comment because I'd love to know how you're getting on. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can certainly have some. My email is below. Email directly and I'll email you back as soon as I can. Until next time, Saggy, take care of yourselves as you always do, and I will see you in the following month. Bye.